My question is, how are you planning to pay back the debt that's been incurred during the pandemic?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the debt that we have today, just over about a third of our size of our economy. If you go to the other G7 countries, twice, 3 times that. So even though I know that that is a lot higher than we'd like it to be, when you compare it to countries around the world, it is significantly less. And that means not only have we got more jobs, more growth, we've got less debt and more jabs. And so compared to other advanced economies around the world, Australia is positioned far more strongly. But on how do we pay back the debt? This is how we do it. The same way when we got elected in 2013. What we did is we took a cost curve that looked like that and we pushed it down like that and we grew our economy. We grew our economy, and you want to lift your revenues, any business person will know this. What you have to do is you have to grow. You have to grow your business. And we had to grow our economy. And so our revenue curve lifted. And as time went on, that meant when we went into the pandemic, we had balanced the budget. And it took us 6 years to do it. Now, we didn't go down the slash and burn approach. And the reason we didn't do that is we're already in some pretty stiff headwinds in our economy. And you've got to keep your economy growing. And that's why we incurred that debt. We incurred that debt to ensure that our economy could get through the worst crisis we had seen since the Great Depression. Had we not done that, I can assure you the debt would be way higher than it was, because now nobody would be in work. Our business infrastructure would have completely collapsed, and the devastation, as I described at the time, would have been realised as we stared into that economic abyss. So we had to invest. But the difference with us, the Labor Party, is that the Labor Party would have spent $81 billion more. They would have kept JobKeeper going for longer. They said that they complain about the debt, but they want to spend more. And that doesn't add up. What do you call it? Albenomics. It doesn't add up. And so what's important is that you've got to take your fiscal settings, how you're running your budget, back to a after-pandemic normal. And that's what we'll be looking to do, and the Treasurer will be saying more about that between now and the budget. But just to know what 81 billion, it sounds like a lot, but I know you hear a lot of numbers. That is almost 3 times what we pay for Medicare every year. That's how much more they would have spent during the pandemic. They know how to start spending, but they never know how to stop. Now, we knew we had to spend in the pandemic to get the economy through. JobKeeper saved the economy. It saved lives. It saved livelihoods. It saved most businesses around the country. But we knew when we had to turn it off. And there are other things we had to turn off. And they're hard fiscal decisions to turn things off. But we know how to make them, because I've done 3 budgets as a Treasurer and 3 budgets as a Prime Minister.